Okay, so this is one time, like 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. This is while I was dating Anne. Me and Anne and her mother and father and her brother, the five of us, all went up north to St. Germain, Wisconsin, which is like an 8-hour trip from where I live up to the like very northernmost point of Wisconsin, right on the Michigan border. You can check a map if you want. You can pause and check a map if you want. I'll wait. Yeah, it's like from Chicago to St. Germain. It's a trip, but we made it. Spent a week out there during my first vacation that I was able to take in my job. I had been there over a year, so I got a week's paid vacation and that I was able to take. And so I set it for that week, and we were able to go on vacation up in St. Germain that whole week. And I got paid for it. It was pretty sweet. But since we were up in Wisconsin, my girlfriend's grandfather and grandmother, they own a few sleds, and the property that they live on has quite a few snowmobile trails, and so that was the point of going up there, was to go sledding. And I'd never been snowmobiling before. And beforehand, Anne was telling me, oh, it'll be no big deal, you can ride on the back of my sled until you get comfortable and confident enough to where you can ride on your own. And then we get geared up, and we're going out, and Anne's like, wait, there's too many people, how are we all gonna fit? And Ken's like, well, no, he's gonna need his own, he's gonna ride on his own. And Anne's like, he can't ride on his own, he's never been riding before. And I was like, well, I'll give it a shot. I mean, it's true, I've never been riding before, but I will give it a shot. The lighting's killing me here, hold on. That's a little better. Yeah. So, I ended up having to ride my own sled. And we went through we went through the neighborhood where he lived, and then we came 2 minutes later up to this lake. Hold on. There we go. Sorry, I keep having to adjust the shit. But yeah, we come to the lake that's frozen over, and the snowmobile trails are across the lake. So we all go single file across the lake, and as soon as we get across, Ken, my girlfriend's grandfather, who's leading us, he stops so everyone stops, and then he, throws his visor back, and he's like, if you want to do a couple of back and forths across the lake just to get a feel for the machine before we keep going, feel free to do so, we'll just hang out or whatever. And I was like, right on. So I pull a 180, I do like a 3-point snowmobile turn, and then I go back across the lake, and halfway across I kind of open it up, and I'm going like a good 50 miles an hour down the lake, just enjoying the shit out of it. And then I get to the shore of the lake, and I slow down, and I come to a stop, and I'm like, well, I need to turn back around. And I fucking cut the wheel, or not the wheel, I cut the handlebars all the way to the left, and just give it a good amount of gas for just a split second, and I go, wing! And I did like a total 180, and it was like a total fishtailed 180, and then I went up on one skid for like a couple of seconds before it came back down, and I leveled out, and then I just hit the gas and gunned it back across the lake. And on my trip back across the lake, I realized, you know what? I think I got this. I don't need another trip or two back across. That one moment there, that was fucking awesome, where I just like cocked the wheel and gunned it to be able to 180 like that. It worked out perfectly. I was scared for a second when I was up on one skid like that, but as soon as I fell back down, I knew everything was cool. And up until that point, I was shitting my pants like, oh god, if this sled tips over, I am so fucked. But it didn't, and everything worked out great, and I had the time of my life up there. We only went sledding like once or twice the whole time I was up there, and I'd love to go back up there, especially because while I'm up there, I know I could make a detour if someone's willing to meet me halfway. Be able to meet up at some point somewhere up in fucking Wisconsin with one of you, which I think would be pretty cool. Fucking just take in the sights of wherever we meet up at or whatever. Fucking actually hang out or some shit. You know it'd be awesome. Anyways, that is the story of the one and only time I've ever been snowmobiling. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I still suck at pausing while I'm trying to look at the camera.